Imagine building a winning baseball team, not just with a big budget and really good players, but with mathematics and spreadsheets. Well, that's what the early 2000s Oakland A's did, and it changed sports forever. I've been a fan of sports basically all of my life, and I have had a good idea of what I enjoy in sports and studying analytics, all of that stuff. So I have a good ground of what I'm talking about. In this speech, we're going to be talking about where sports analytics came from, how it's used, and why it's changing future sports and why it will change future sports. All right, according to marketplace.org in 2023 article, this revolution began with the Moneyball revolution in the early 2000s. This was Billy Beane's team. He was the GM, and he had a very low budget compared to all other teams in the MLB. And what he did was he built a very good team, a winning team with on-base percentage stats, batting average, all those stats like that. Not just using a huge budget or whatever player is the best that you can find, but he used stats and was smart about it. After he succeeded, this idea proved that data-driven decisions can compete with richer teams or teams with bigger budgets. And the term from this revolution called sabermetrics was born. It's a statistical analytics of baseball performance. That's from syracuse.edu in an article. Today, sports analytics is being used in basically any sport you can think of. In basketball, it's used to look at shot charts and shot efficiency, player efficiency, just to gain a competitive advantage and find out a game plan to win. It's being used in soccer and hockey to measure player positioning, speed, and expected goals, which are all things that are very important in scoring for soccer and hockey. And basically every point goes a very long way in those sports, so it's very important. And then in player recovery and development, you can measure vitals, endurance, and performance, especially in recovery, just to see when players can come back, how good they'll perform, or really anything of that nature. In short, analytics affects every part of every game. Whether you can think of it or not, it really does affect it in every way. In the future, broadcasters use and will use data during games for commentary, according to George Mason University in an article. This really helps out the fan experience, and it keeps the games more entertaining and it helps them grow. Sports analytics and data is also used a lot in fantasy sports and sports betting, just to figure out when players will do good and what spot they'll do good, or even if they'll do bad, and just kind of predicting that just for their success. Data analysts are also staffed at every sports organization and sports team. These teams help with basically every decision the organization makes in total, and yeah. But many fans argue that analytics makes a sport too formulaic or takes away the human aspect of it. So while analytics bring precision, they spark debate on what makes sports entertaining or what makes sports exciting. So overall, baseball sprouted the sports analytics generation, and it basically branched out to every sport you can think of. Especially today, it's used in every sport. So in the end, numbers don't just tell us who won, they tell us why they won.